Well, I suppose this is where we'll start the tour, right here with the tool shed. Come on. The studio is all the way hand-built. DIY, a lot of do-it-yourself stuff, and it starts with a good set of hand tools and some power tools that I have over here. And this is kind of where the storage for that is. I keep it completely separate from the studio so that I can keep a pretty narrow mind whenever I'm doing something, when I have an objective. This is where I keep my tools, good little handmade box, nice and secure little thing. And this is where I just keep things within arm's reach. And then I keep my batteries up here, all the batteries. And then down here is where screws and stuff hang out. And then I've got cool sword. Yes, we like swords. This tour isn't really about the shed, but I just wanted to show you where my tools were because, I mean, they're a pretty integral part of the studio. Let's move on. Well, someone sure is cozy. Welcome to the Hun Studio tour. This studio is actually a part of the house that we're renting. We're renting a house. It's a 4-bedroom, 1.5 bath house. But actually this 4th bedroom used to be the carport, and so they transferred it into the master bedroom. But we don't need 4 bedrooms, so perfectly it fits, and now this has become the studio. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna just kind of take you around, walk you around the little different sections that I've built, that I've created to make this thing a functional little space, and it works for me. This here actually, we'll just start right here. So I've got the painting station here, the very first thing. The thing that, honestly, this is the thing that gets used the most, is this little bitty corner. This is a little drawer that I got for free, actually out of the house right next door. This was free, and so I'm using it as my little storage container for my paint setup. And I keep my paints here. I wheel it over here, and I sit here, just like this, and then I paint. I sit stuff here. I'm left-handed, but I'm holding anyway. So I paint just like this. I sit here, and I usually keep a hairdryer here, dry the paint, paint the paint, get the painting done. This actually is going to be the main part. This is the main part of the studio. It's actually right here in the center of the room, this is. And this is actually a table that we found on the side of the road, and it looked terrible. It was spray painted over, so I sanded it down, put a nice coat of polyurethane, painted the bottom, and now this dining table is the main drawing table. That's where I do most of when I want to sit and draw, and this is where I'm at, right here. One of the things that is really concerning about this space, as a little limiting, is this is the only outlet in the space. So you have the main area, and this is the editing corner. There's one plug inside of there and one plug in there, and that's it. So I've had to run a cable all the way to here, and I've attached it to the table here, and this is where I plug in my lights, my chargers, things of that nature, just to kind of get it in the center of the studio so I can move and pivot around versus just being here. I'm actually quite new at planting, but I have some children here, some little babes that I'm trying to grow here, and I'm not doing so hot with some of them, but it's okay. It's okay, we're learning. Most of the wall space, honestly, is going to be used for painting. These are some paintings that I've done in the studio so far, and we've had this place for less than a year. So this wall. This entire wall actually is going to be designated for paintings. And of course, I've got this is actually my brother, so I know some of you are maybe interested in this. I'm not sure, but this is our house after all, so sometimes, inevitably, the studio gets used as a storage unit. So that's kind of what we're doing right now. We got a lot of storage happening here, so it is what it is. So just this is the come and go wall here. And this here is gonna be the inspiration wall where other people's art is hung to inspire me. Eventually, I want to turn this desk, I want to like replace this top because it's kind of bunk. It's not, oh, here we go. It's not great. So I'm gonna replace this with a good hardwood top. And then actually what I'm gonna make, this is gonna be like my standing station here. I'm gonna have maybe a light, something under here. And then I'm gonna have this as another workstation. So I'm gonna have several different workstations added eventually. Actually, these are some new additions here. These are some cabinets that I got from school actually. And they don't have any purpose outside of holding these plants. They don't have anything inside of them at all. So the cool thing about this space, the cool thing about having an art studio is the fact that it's just kind of ever evolving, it's kind of ever changing, and I like that. I like that. So this is mostly just right now what I'm doing, walking around, pointing at stuff, saying, hey, this is the thing, is just documenting the process of making things better and making things evolve. Inside of here is the closet. There's nothing too interesting here. I keep some Christmas presents, and we keep some art supplies. I keep some actually drawings from the past, keep it in here. I keep some art supplies in here, some things I haven't really messed with, and then some storage, some larger storage that stays down here, and some cables and such down here. And that is it for this space. It's actually quite cool that it's simple. We got two main compartments, which is the painting and then the drawing. This is where I sit most of the time for ideas and reading and drawing, writing, all that fun stuff. And then we've got, finally, this little space. Inside of here is like the little tunnel. Coming inside of here is the editing studio. This is where I edit the videos. I sit here, I edit the videos on my computer, on this little computer that I got for free. And everything you see inside the studio, as far as furniture goes, literally everything is either free or from the thrift store. None of it's really bought brand new. And here, the final spot is actually the little chill spot, the little hangout zone here, just for whenever I want to sit down and kick my feet up and maybe grab a book or just kind of take a break from making art, making whatever. I am learning to love this space, actually. This is, like I said earlier, this is my first official studio space, designated studio space that I didn't have to like live in, right? And it's come a long way since we first got it. In fact, like it had some really ugly walls and it was just bland. There was no personality to it. But now that I've put in a little bit of work to it, it's got so much personality and it's grown so far in like 8 months. And I want to document this. I want this to be forever cemented on the internet, so that I can look back at this one day and just go, wow, this is where I was. This is how far I've grown. Look at what I've done. You know, whenever I get kind of depressed and sad and just kind of in my feels and thinking too much about how, like, you know, get, what's it called? Imposter syndrome. Whenever I get imposter syndrome, I'm just like, I'll have something to come back to and look at and go, you know, it's not so bad. But this is the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really liking the space. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. See ya.